Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to test out a new sketchbook that I got from my Secret Santa at a Christmas party yesterday. And I thought I'd try just some fruit, little low stakes, and I just wanted to do an alcohol marker, see how this paper takes it. I mean, it's not it's not really a sketchbook designed for alcohol markers, and I realized that pretty quickly, even just swatching. But yeah, I made it through. I do want to finish the rest of them. I just have to be careful. It really sucks up a lot of the ink and it takes a long time to dry, so I have a feeling this is like maybe 100% cellulose, which I don't think is great for alcohol markers, and it's more textured than what I usually use for alcohol markers, but yeah, I think it turned out alright in the end. You let me know. I started off by just lightening up some lines. You'll notice I did go over already with colored pencil. I've just liked doing that recently so that it looks a little more put together by the end, even if I have to go over it again with more colored pencil. But it sort of just helps me, it helps you see the finished product before it's done, if that makes sense. So yeah, I went in with like the lightest color that could show up, and I think that was actually a Daiso one. Big mistake, not great for this paper, which is ironic because I'm pretty sure this sketchbook was from Daiso. So we had a budget for our Secret Santa, by the way, so that's totally fine with me. Still very happy I got a big old sketchbook. This is a nice size paper, so pretty perfect. Actually, I might be able to bring this to my class tomorrow because they're making posters, so I did ask them to bring their materials if they could, but I'll bring it just in case they don't. But yeah, I went in with like the second lightest color and then a slightly darker one. I didn't know how to approach sort of these stripy bits. If I were like using gouache or acrylic gouache, then obviously I could layer light on top of dark, and that's probably how I would have done that. But you can't do that here. And so I really wanted to blend them out a lot so it didn't look really stark, but as you can see, the paper, this drawing in particular went through quite an ugly phase that seemed to last forever. So I had to cover this up, let it dry, and then cover up the sort of blotchy bits. And I think it worked out in the end. It just looks really, really bad initially, and then when it dries, it looks a little bit better. But at this point, I was like, yeah, we're not gonna use the Daiso markers anymore because they're just so splotchy when layered on top of other markers. So this one's actually a can-do marker, and I got these knowing that I needed more reds because I have a decent amount of pinks, but I need like different shades of red that don't quite go into pink. I need like a good transition shade between a light pink and a normal like mid-tone red, and I don't really have that. The closest thing is this coral color from Can Do, and as you can see, that's still pretty dark. So I'm on the hunt. Next time probably after Christmas, because I don't know what I'm getting for Christmas, but perhaps after Christmas I will go to Loft or maybe Sekaido or something and look at some Copics maybe, because you can't buy Ohu's. I don't know if you can buy them anywhere open stock, let alone in Japan. But yeah, I'll see what I can get for reds and fill in those gaps. So this was like multiple layers of difficult because the paper was really hard to work with, and I just didn't have a nice color for an in-between, so it required a lot of blending, which was really difficult on this paper. So sure, she looks ugly now, especially before the ink dries, but I think we figured it out in the end. I think so. So yeah, I had to go, and this is where I was looking for more transition shades, like something slightly darker, slightly lighter. I just kept I just kept grabbing from the bag that I had at my feet of my alcohol markers. I had the ones that I'd chosen initially on the desk, and then I just kept searching for more. Then I decided, let's just go in with that darkest color, because I'm feeling a bit disheartened at the moment, and I want to see like the shape of it. I want to see some form in this artwork. So I went in with that's one of my earlier Ohuhus. They are Ohuhus, it's just like the triangle shaped ones in a smaller box. And then I blended that out with the, what is this one? It was in the set with the coral from Candu. Candu is a 100 yen shop, by the way. So these markers, surprisingly, like really good. I use them so much with my Ohuhus, even though they were 100 yen. So 50 yen each. But what is this color? It's the darker one. Carnation red or something. And then back in with the Cosmos to blend that out. And now it started coming together. Now I was like, okay, this kind of looks like a strawberry. It doesn't look like a tiger. So I just kept, ooh. It looks real bad initially, but I did do a swatch. When that dries, it looks better. I just kept going back over, which is how I tend to do things anyway. I usually start from light and kind of fill in everywhere, and then layer on with the darker colors. So some people like to just like save space for the dark color, but I often just go on top of everything as long as it's of the same color family, and then build it up that way, which is risky with some kind of paper. So yeah, I don't know if that was a good move here, but it was all right. I think the Candu marker saved in the end, and this is back with the darkest one. I want to start adding some of that texture of like the little fibers of the strawberry flesh and like the shadows of the seeds that you don't really see. They kind of blend in, but you can still see them, sort of the texture. And then I just wanted to mostly go around the edge so you could get that sort of 3D shape. And yeah, it was all about just adding bits and blending it out before it looked too dark, which the best thing honestly about this paper, because it just sucked up so much of the ink or whatever was happening, it took a long time to dry, which is bad for knowing like what the color actually looks like, but good for blending, as long as it wasn't with those Daiso markers, because you know I might just have to give those away. I don't want to throw them in the trash because that seems wasteful, but honestly, not worth it. Not for layering. So maybe I'll bring them to my class tomorrow so they can make their posters. We're doing a poster activity. Same thing with the green kind of as the red. I also went searching for mid-tone greens, basically. I have some light greens. I have obviously this very dark green, a few dark greens actually, but the mid-tones, it's just, where are they? Do they even exist? Of course, Copic has some, but Copics are expensive, so I can go look while I'm looking for my reds. I will go look for some mid-tone greens, because it was a struggle. I found one that finally was like kind of okay, and then I just kept layering. This one is again one of the triangle shaped ones from my very first Ohuhu set, and that seemed to be like a good one to layer on top. And at this point I really wanted to, stop some of the splotchiness, so I started going back in with the colored pencil. This is the Arctics colored pencils, and same kind of thing. This paper really made the markers bleed a lot, so the shape isn't that nice. I've mentioned this in other videos before, but I usually scan these, like my alcohol artwork, and make them into stickers, and when I'm editing them or whatever, I have to erase around the edges, right? So I'm not too bothered by messy edges when I'm making the artwork, because I know I can just erase the messy edges later. So definitely messier here than it would be in sticker form or whatever. I'm having thoughts and plans for this artwork. I would like to make all of these a set ideally, but I'd love to see this one as a sticker just in particular. Maybe today, we'll see. Maybe I'll test it out on my Cricut Joy, which is what I love about my Cricut Joy. I can make one sticker at a time and just see what it's like, instead of having to print a whole A4 sheet and then using my Silhouette Portrait 3. And here I'm sort of adding, I guess, better transitions, but also I wanted a bit more contrast at the same time. So I was still going from dark to light. I like that red. I think that red that I chose worked really well over this marker. Again, this paper is pretty textured, so you could see some of the texture of the color pencils, but it's not too bad. I really burnished a lot by the end of it, and then that was just my gel pen. On the reference picture that I was using, it's actually like, I think, soaked in syrup, like sugar syrup, so it's really glossy, but I didn't want to do it exactly like that, because how would you know? So I just wanted it to look like a strawberry. That's maybe a bit juicy. And then I wasn't satisfied with the contrast, so I went back in with my darkest red. Don't have a darker one than this, so I was a bit disappointed, again, with like my red selection. No midtones and no darkest ones, but actually at one point I went in with that gray. You can see it, it's under my wrist now, and that is what I used to darken up quite a bit. So that did work pretty well. And then I was just blending out all three of those colors, the darkest, and then that carnation red, and then the cosmos. And then I fixed up the seeds with a little bit more yellow, some shading with orange, and then like this magenta, so it sort of blends in. And that's where I'm leaving it. I think it looks pretty tasty, which is what's most important. You can really see the texture here, but honestly I think it looks more interesting with texture like that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and please like and subscribe if you like this video. Bye!